Thank you for tuning in to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Whether you're listening during your commute, while working out, or just relaxing at home, we appreciate you. Every download, every listen, and every subscription means a lot. Up next, the 12 Kyle podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Man, check this out. On this episode, I want to keep it simple. I want to talk about a few of my favorite things. I'll be the first to admit I did not come up with this idea myself. I got it from the homie, fellow podcaster, Danny Foxworth. You guys know Danny. He's been on here several times. He's got 3, 4, 5 podcasts himself. Homie from South Carolina. Recently got a chance to hang out with him when he came here to Atlanta, maybe about a month or so, maybe 2 months ago. And recently hung out with him at South Carolina State University's homecoming. So shout out to the homie. Y'all be sure to check out his podcast, all of them. Dope brother right there, man. But he did an episode on a few of his favorite things. And I told him, I was like, man, that is a great episode, great idea. And I was going to still borrow it from him. So without further ado, it's just basically just some of the things that I like and a way of, kind of expressing the things that I like and then giving you a chance to get to know me a little bit better more than you already do. And these are in no particular order. So first up, cookies. Favorite cookie. It's actually a tie. My favorite cookies are oatmeal raisin cookies and white macadamia nut cookies. Oatmeal raisin first. I know a lot of people don't like raisins. I am probably the biggest fan of raisins that you know. I love raisins. I ate a lot of raisins as a kid, and once I got older, that never went away. Raisins are a good snack. Like I'll buy a box of raisins, sit them here on my desk, and eat them throughout the day. Very good snack. I ate Raisin Bran cereal as a kid, so I don't mind eating raisins, having raisins in my milk. At least when I did eat cereal, I don't eat cereal anymore, but because milk doesn't agree with my stomach anymore. But I love oatmeal raisin cookies. The oatmeal texture is always good, and then when you just put a nice couple of raisins in there, it is chef's kiss, man. It's perfect. White macadamia is something that I probably gravitated towards probably by the time I got to college. Very, very dope cookie. It's a cookie that I still buy. I buy the little pack. I think it's like a pack of 24. I buy them and bake them at least once or twice a month. And I never get a chance to eat as many as I'd like because my kids eat them all. But white macadamia are dope. I've never been a fan of chocolate chip cookies. In fact, I don't like chocolate chip. I don't like a lot of chocolate, period. But that's another story for another day. We're talking about my favorite things. And so my favorite cookies are white macadamia and oatmeal raisin. Favorite condiment. I'm pretty simple when it comes to condiments. I don't really do a whole lot of condiments, but probably I will go old school and say ketchup. Ketchup, because I gotta have ketchup on my fries. Ketchup is an old school staple, and I'm one of the few. I don't know about the rest of you, but ketchup for me, unopened, it's in the pantry. Once it's opened, it's in the refrigerator. Now, I don't know how y'all get down, but the way I was raised, unopened ketchup goes in the pantry. Open ketchup goes in the refrigerator. I've been told that some people open ketchup and they leave it in the pantry. I've never done that before in my life. But ketchup is probably my favorite. Spicy mustard's a close second. I am a fan of spicy mustard. It goes well on a nice sub sandwich. Candy. Favorite candy. Wow. That was tough because I don't eat a lot of candy. I definitely don't eat a lot of candy now. I ate a lot of candy growing up. I would probably say the baked beans from the city of Boston. Now, listen, Boston baked beans are the dopest. There's nothing better to me than Boston baked beans as far as candy is concerned. And that's about the best thing I can say about the city of Boston. I've never been to Boston, but I hate Boston. The only good things to come out of Boston are Boston baked beans and New Edition. That's it. The Celtics suck. The Red Sox suck. Who else we got? The Patriots suck. So, no, I hate Boston. Never been there. Never going. I'm a Yankees fan, so there. If you were wondering why I have such disdain for the city of Boston, who knows? It could be a great place. I've never heard a lot of great things about Boston, but again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the baked beans from Boston. And I really don't know if they're from Boston, but they're called Boston baked beans, and they're dope, and I love them. That's the candy. That's my favorite candy. Favorite flower. Don't really have a favorite flower, but I guess I could say rose. Roses are dope. I remember one time my wife with Sharice, were you married then? Yeah, we were married. We were married. She ordered me some roses and had them delivered to me to work. And all the ladies in the office got to, oh my gosh, Kyle, you got flowers. So like, relax. And I'm sitting there with flowers and a balloon, and I literally was sitting on my desk. I didn't know what to do with them. But yeah, probably favorite rose I'd probably say is a flower. Favorite smell. Now, here's what's interesting. If you ask a lot of men what their favorite smell is, they're going to go to something toward the lines of cologne or a scent, something like that, maybe even perfume. No, for me, favorite smell is the smell from a grill. Listen, when you got that barbecue going and you got hot dog, well, not I don't eat hot dogs, but hamburgers or chicken or steak on the grill. Listen, food just tastes better on the grill, period. And I say that as someone who, if you follow me on Instagram, you know how I give it up. I'm on the grill at least. And here's the thing, I don't even post my stuff on the grill all the time. So I'm usually on the grill. I've kind of slacked off a little bit, but I'm on the grill at least a couple of times a month. But food just tastes better on the grill. And like, it's funny because I will have people ask, particularly in the winter, they're like, oh, you grill in the wintertime? Yeah. Who doesn't grill in the winter? I don't care about how cold it is. When you pop open that grill, baby, it's the heat is coming from the grill. You don't care about that. Now, I try not to grill in the rain, but I have. If it starts raining, I just take an umbrella outside and cover the grill when I'm doing my 1-2. But nah, man, there's no better smell than smell from a grill. When that barbecue's going, man, listen, to me, you could take your colognes, you could take your perfumes, you could take your flowers, whatever. There's no better smell than the smell from a grill. Favorite rapper. Not the best rapper, not the best MC, not the top 5 lyricists of all time. Favorite rapper. I'm gonna say Nas. Nas is probably my favorite. It's not the best, but he's my favorite. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nas. Favorite singer. Now this is tough because I love a lot of singers, but if I had to say my favorite singer, I'm gonna go Prince. I mean, but there's a lot of people I could choose from, but I'll probably say Prince. Favorite high school teacher. Now that one's pretty easy. It's my man Rick Ostrander. We used to call him Strand. Rest in peace to my man Strand. Strand was also my mentor in high school. One day I got to do a podcast about Strand. Strand was, as many of you know, maybe you don't know, I went to Wilson High School in Florence, South Carolina. It's a predominantly black high school. It's been around since 1840, right? And again, it's a predominantly black high school. It's one of the only black schools in the state of South Carolina at the time that it was, in its inception. But it was predominantly black high school, and we had white teachers, but Strand was white teacher who loved black kids and loved black people, and he didn't. You could tell that there wasn't a prejudice bone in his body. He was different, man. Strand would come to school in a 3-piece suit with some Nikes on every day, no lie. And I don't necessarily know if the administration particularly cared for him. I know there were other teachers that didn't care for him, but Strand didn't care. And he was the leader of our drug prevention group that we had in school called Teen Institute. Maybe I'll do a podcast on Teen Institute. Phenomenal program. He was also a football coach. Just a cool cat, man. Strand was, and he was funny. He made learning fun. I took him for American government, civics, and I think world geography. And I remember he made us learn every country in Africa, and he put it in a rap. We had to write a rap song as a class. So we wrote a rap song, and we put every country in Africa in that song, and that's how we learned every country in Africa. I mean, what better way to learn than a rap song, right? And we learned it, and I still remember it to this day. I know every country, and I still remember that rap. I don't remember all of it, but I remember most of it. So, yeah, rest in peace to Strand. That was my guy. Definitely favorite high school teacher, without a doubt. Favorite college professor. I'm going to go with my man, Dr. Barajo. Dr. Barajo on the campus of South Carolina State University. Dr. Barajo is from Ethiopia. And his English was very choppy, but he taught business statistics and a couple other math classes, or business math classes. But he was a business professor. He was in School of Business in Belcher Hall. So I had him for statistics twice. I think I had him for Stat 1 and Stat 2 and business and another business course. I can't remember. But I never got anything less than a B in his class. And I think I got 1 B and 2 A's. And it was always funny. Dr. Raho, he couldn't pronounce my name. So my name is spelled Kyle. Dr. Barajo would see my name on the roster, and he would call me Kelly. I don't know how you get Kelly from Kyle, but he called me Kelly. And I would tell him, hey, Doc, it's Kyle. Kelly, go to the board. It's Kyle. That is correct, Kelly. Sit down, Kelly. He never called me Kyle. He always called me Kelly. So at one point, I stopped correcting him. I was like, this man gonna call me Kelly anyway, so I don't care. But he was one of my favorite. He was my favorite professor at South Carolina State University. I learned a lot from him. One of the things that he impressed upon me in business statistics class was the fact that statistics are numbers, but he always said you can manipulate a number to be whatever you want it to be. And so he said, don't be fooled by numbers. Numbers are very important, but don't be fooled by them, because you can make a number sound any way that you want it to sound. Case in point, if I told you that 1 out of every 4 black men are incarcerated, that's a stat, right? But the flip side of that stat is 3 out of 4 black men aren't incarcerated. So that's a stat as well. So would you take the 75% or the 25%? It's all on how you look at it, right? So yeah, rest in peace to Dr. Barajo. He passed away, I think, during COVID. And I didn't realize that he had passed away until after he passed away. But I found out when he passed away, he was 81 years old. Like Dr. Barajo looked very young. He used to jog around campus all the time. And the funny thing I always talk about Dr. Barajo was, and I say this affectionately, but like in Dr. Barajo, where he's from in Ethiopia, they say that if you have a smell or stench to yourself, as far as body odor, that shows a sign of masculinity. Well, if that were the case, then Dr. Barajo was the strongest man on campus because he stunk. And I mean, like a funky stink, but there was nothing you could do about it because you had to go to his class. And it was crazy because I remember there would be times where we had an auditorium seat. We had an auditorium seat type class, and he would go stand sometimes in front of the air unit. So as the air unit's pushing out air, he's standing in front of the air unit. So now the whole class smells funky. And his office always smelled funky, and he kept the door closed. And people complained about it, but I mean, he didn't care. I mean, what you gonna do? He was Dr. Barajo. He was a tenured professor at the university, so they wouldn't get him out of the paint. But I loved him, loved his classes, man. Loved talking to him. And the last time I saw him, I came back for homecoming one year. I think I may have been out of school for about 5 years, and I went by his office to talk to him. I was in Belcher, just kind of walking around because I try to make my way back to the School of Business just to show my face before they asked me to donate money. And the last time I saw him, he remembered me. He called me Kelly. So I mean, I don't even know it. And he called my man Mo. He called him Antonio, which his name is Mo, not Antonio. Antonio, and it took us a while to figure out why he was calling Mo Antonio. Antonio was his middle name, so he called Mo by his middle name. He never called him Mo. So go figure. But rest in peace to Dr. Barajo at South Carolina State University. Favorite sneaker is the Air Jordan 4. It used to be the Air Jordan 3. And I don't know, it subtly became the Air Jordan 4 because I remember the Air Jordan 3s. I loved the 3s, but it was something about the 4s. And then as I became an adult and I could actually, because I couldn't afford Jordans when I was a kid, right? And my mom was not spending, she told me, quote, I'm not spending more than $55 for sneakers. And so you weren't going to buy, you could probably buy Jordan shoestring for $55. You weren't going to buy no bread 4s for $55. But yeah, it was the Air Jordan 3s, but the Air Jordan 4s now, I have more Air Jordan 4s than I have of any other pair of Air Jordans. So I have a pretty decent sneaker collection. Can't compare to the homie Eclectic, who has like 250,000 shoes. That's where he spends his money, shoes and liquor. Shout out to E. But yeah, no, I'm not that's my favorite. It's the 4s. Favorite car. Favorite car probably right now is the I can't remember the name of it. It's the 2-seater, the Lexus 2-seater. I can't remember the name of the car. But that car is so cold. I think that car runs about 105 as far as the sales price. Listen, that's the next car. I don't know where I'm gonna get $105,000 from. I may have to try to, put some pennies together, what have you. But it's woo, man, that car. So I have a Lexus now, but that car is cold. But it's a 2-seater, and I mean, realistically, I'm not driving a 2-seater at this stage of my life because, I still have my wife and my daughter, and well, Brandon's in college, but Skylar's still here. So and plus, again, I'm not paying $105,000. Maybe I can get it on discount or something. Maybe they can knock the price down to like $15,000 if I'm nice or something. I don't know, but that Lexus 2-seater is cold. That's the next car. But I love my Lexus. I think Lexus makes a great car. But that's probably my favorite car right now. And that's why I said right now, because probably growing up, the favorite car was the Lamborghini. I mean, I don't know any kid that didn't love a Lamborghini back in the day. Favorite book as a child, favorite book as an adult. Good question. As a child, Super Fudge by Judy Blume. Love that book. I've read it a gazillion times. Favorite book as an adult, definitely the autobiography of Malcolm X. $40 Million Slave is another good one by the brother William Roden. But the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley, definitely a must read for everyone. Favorite YouTube channel outside of the 12 Kyle podcast YouTube channel and the Rap Soul podcast YouTube channels, which you all should be subscribed to. Do I have a favorite YouTube? Probably. No, I can't say that's a favorite. I'd say definitely The Right Time with Bomani Jones. I watch a lot of his episodes on YouTube, so I'd probably say Right Time with Bomani Jones. Favorite photographer. Can't say that I have a favorite photographer. I guess you could throw Gordon Parks in there. I liked his work, but I don't really know a lot of photographers. Favorite season, fall, hands down. Fall. You got football, you got chill weather. It ain't too hot. I've always lived in the South for the most part. The weather's really good in the fall, and again, it's football season, so you can't beat that. The only downside to the fall is when the time changes and start getting dark early. But other than that, the fall, I'm gonna take the fall all the time. Spring is cool too, but if you live in Atlanta, you got to deal with pollen, and the pollen is ridiculous, and it's gotten worse and worse each year. But no, favorite season for me definitely is the fall. Favorite holiday, without a doubt, Thanksgiving. Always, that is my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving. Not so much as the food, but just being at home and the camaraderie of the family and everything. And Thanksgiving's gotten even more important now as my kids have gotten older. But like that was my favorite holiday. When I was a little kid, we would always go back to New Jersey, which is where I was born. We'd go to visit family in New Jersey. So Thanksgiving will always be number one for me. Christmas is, it's okay. Christmas, I guess, as an adult means more to my kids than it does to me. But Thanksgiving, hands down. Favorite movie, Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy. Coming to America listen, Coming to America could come on TV right now. I would literally sit and watch it. I'd sit and watch it and quote every line like I know it, and I know it like the back of my hand. Favorite TV show. Wow, that's tough. I'm gonna go Cosby Show. Cosby Show was dope up until those last two seasons. Probably close second, A Different World. I can't say A Different World had a whack season to me. Cosby Show definitely was whack that last year and a half, 2 years, 2 seasons. So let's just change that. A Different World. Favorite show. A Different World. Favorite snack chip. I will go Cool Ranch Doritos. Cool Ranch Doritos is my favorite snack chip. Now, if it's that favorite snack, then we're talking popcorn. I was about to say Popeyes. Popcorn. Favorite snack. But favorite snack chip, definitely Cool Ranch Doritos. Favorite way to unwind. Just sitting down on the couch watching TV. I was telling one of my boys the other day, like, even though I work from home and I've worked from home for the last 6 or 7 years, I don't turn the TV on during the day. Most days I don't turn the TV on until 6, maybe 7 o'clock. I don't watch TV. I mean, I watch TV, but I don't. When it's time for me to unwind, particularly now at the time of this recording, when it's during football season, I plop down on the couch and watch and turn the game on. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm in front of the TV all day long, and I love it. Favorite thing about Florence, my hometown. I love the fact that it's home. I love the fact that it's a place where I have so many great memories, and I truly enjoy being there. I think that's one of the things that sticks out to me because, like, there's some people that go home and like they're home for a little while and they're like, "Oh man, I got to get out of here." I'm never like that. I always enjoy home, being at home. My parents are still there. We still have homes there, and so there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories, and they're all great. So I don't have the traumatized childhood where I hate Florence. I love Florence. So probably some of my favorite things. And Florence got some great food spots as well. Low key, for a very small place, it has great food spots. Shout out to the 301. Some of the best fried chicken anywhere you can find. Last but not least, favorite thing about myself. I don't know. I'm me. I like everything about me. I'm someone who, if you know me, I'm very confident, not arrogant, but very confident, very self-assured, self-belief in self. And I'm gonna bet on Kyle every single time because you know what? I'm cool with shooting that last shot because if I make it or I miss it, if I miss it, I'm cool with the results. But I'm gonna take that last shot regardless because I feel like I'm the player to get me to that point, and I've gotten myself this far, and I don't think I'm gonna stop at any point. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for me. That has been a few of my favorite things. Excuse me. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Again, this is the 12 Kyle podcast. We drop new episodes every Sunday and every Thursday. Again, I want to encourage you all to download, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you feel inclined, hit us up on Cash App, $ TWELVEKYLE. Also, we have merch. Check out the 12 Kyle podcast merch. Hit the link in the description box. There you can buy 12 Kyle podcast t-shirts, hoodies, as well as coffee mugs. We got it for the low. Also, check out our new baby. It's called the Rap Soul Podcast. There we have music and artists from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s when it comes to rap, soul, hip-hop, and R&B. This podcast is strictly for the music lovers, so check it out. It's the best music podcast that you've never heard. So you definitely want to tap in, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I will catch you guys next time. 5,000. Cheers.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of the 12 Kyle podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this podcast with a friend who needs the 12 Kyle podcast in their life. Every listen, every download, and every share helps us grow. Thanks for being a part of the 12 Kyle podcast community. We appreciate your support. We will catch you next time. 5,000.